This is a model of how to set your compass for success for the Dallastown Area School District Cyber Academy. One of the most important things to remember when setting your compass for success is establishing a daily routine or SMART goals. In this diagram, you can see that over on the left-hand side, there are work sessions. Each one is split up into 30 minutes. That's what we recommend, is a 30-minute time segment. You'll want to set that time then from a certain point, and identify the subject area that you're going to be working on during that time. You may wish to also establish specific assignments for that block of time. So for example, if I'm working 30 minutes and I set that from 9 o'clock till 9:30, and I'm going to be working on math, what are my specific assignments? You can look at that by looking at the assignments and deadlines, and get an idea of what you want to accomplish. And then over here in this box, once you get to that point and you establish that, yes, I did indeed accomplish it, you put a check, or no, I didn't, and you put to be completed in there. But this is a template that can help you. Here's an example of what that template might look like, setting out your daily routine. As you can see here, it gives you the 3 hours minimum, the minimum threshold for middle school students, so that you're not being penalized in attendance. But you have your first 30 minutes, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. You're taking a 10-minute break, another 30 minutes, 9:10 to 9:40, and a third 30-minute work session, 9:50 to 10:20. Then it looks like this person chose to take a significant lunch break, middle of the day. Maybe they're taking a little nap, going outside, getting some exercise, whatever it may be. And then they do the rest of their other 3 sessions, or an hour and a half, from 1 o'clock until 2:50, with 10-minute breaks in between. You can really set it up however you want to set it up. If you want to do, you start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and work until 8 o'clock at night, you can do that. If you want to have more than 6 30-minute sessions, you can do that as well. Remember that 3 hours is the minimum threshold. But by setting a routine structure that you're going to follow each day, by establishing specific assignments or goals, and by indicating whether you've accomplished those, you can really set your compass to success. I also want to take some time to talk about the idea of how to take notes successfully and work through the lessons. OdysseyWare is very reading intensive and video intensive. That's how they provide their information. It's one thing to read, it's one thing to watch the videos, it's another thing to actively understand and process this information. And by active, it means that you should be doing some writing while you're doing your reading or watching the videos. In this particular template, it's a take or a variation on what's called Cornell note taking. You would identify the main ideas or concepts as in the that you pull from the reading. Then you're going to take that and you're going to put it in your own words. When you put down the main ideas or concepts in your own words, you don't necessarily have to write an entire book. It might just be a little bulleted point or a little statement. Maybe it's a word. In your own words, it's something that you can understand. In the next column, it gives you an opportunity. What questions do you have? What things this might set the stage for more information coming later, or it may help you with guiding questions back to your teacher. And then also, it's always good to identify key vocabulary, which you can use later on to help review. Here's an example. In this particular idea, the main concept is on photosynthesis. You can see it says photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and some other organisms use sunlight to synthesize foods from carbon dioxide and water. Whew, what does that mean? Well, in your own words, basically, in my words at least, green plants combine sunshine, carbon dioxide, and water to make energy. Okay. What about, do I have any questions? Well, I was thinking, I wonder what this energy might look like. What does it mean, energy? And then key vocabulary, well, certainly photosynthesis, but maybe I need to look at organisms. Sounds like it's an important word. The word synthesize, what exactly does that mean? And carbon dioxide. So that's an example of how you would utilize this type of note taking. Maybe this type of note taking is not for you. Perhaps you want something more like a bulleted outline. Sometimes it's nice to have a legal tablet or a notebook beside you, and you set down just a basic bulleted outline. Start out with a main idea that you identify, using your subtitles, from a text. You break down your text, main titles, subtitles. So you have one main idea, you underline it with supporting details. One of the things I like to do is go through, and when I identify key vocabulary, I just underline it or star it. And it's also good to put a picture or a diagram. Whenever applicable, I find that pictures, drawing a little picture, you don't have to be a great artist. Maybe it's a stick figure, but that seems to really help me. And then, of course, it repeats with the next main idea. Another good note-taking technique, particularly with vocabulary or big picture ideas, is called a Frere diagram. You have the main idea in the center. You have the technical definition that you pull right from the reading. You put that in this upper left-hand corner. You explain it in your own words in the upper right-hand corner. This is very important. Examples and non-examples. Examples, of course, real-life perspectives of how this photosynthesis or this idea plays out. You'll see in a moment I use an example of photosynthesis again, and non-examples, like what is this not referring to? And then again, another important piece in this lower right-hand corner is a picture or symbol. You may have heard of a Frere diagram before. I know that it's actively used by our teachers. Here's an example of that. Again, photosynthesis, put the term right there in the center. Here's the definition. Here it is in my words. Here an example, a non-example, and then here's a picture. And this picture was pulled right off of Google Images. So you don't have to be an artist. All you have to do is type the topic in to Google Images, and it will provide you with a ton of pictures and visual symbols that you can plug right in there. So these are just a few ideas that you might use to help support your journey through Odyssey Ware learning experience.